All right, guys, we're going to make our Algebra 1 Concepts on Connection notebook. So go ahead and write the title. Please write your first and your last name here, as well as your period. You should have collected all of Unit 1's paper. It's just important for you to realize that it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, like this is a double page, okay? So you should have picked up all the sheets of paper for Unit 1, and you'll see that the page numbers start on the next one because these are the cover sheets. What you're going to do is you're going to do that just so it can make it one pile. Yes, you can use scissors, but I find a ruler is a lot faster. Initially, it will seem like it's not fast because you're learning something new, okay? But it is going to be a lot faster. So what I want you to do is I want you to put your ruler down the middle, exactly down the middle of the page. You're going to apply pressure onto your left hand, and with your right hand, because you're just starting out, you can just pick the first page, okay? So you're starting out, so just go pick the first page, and then you're going to lean the page to your left hand, and then pull down gently. Again, applying pressure on your left hand. With your right hand, pull towards your left, and apply pressure while you're pulling the paper gently. Okay, now it's very important as you cut this paper that you go ahead and keep the order the same. So this one is first, this one is right underneath it. Okay, then we're going to repeat that process again for the next page. And once you kind of get comfortable, so again, in the middle, ruler lined up, pressure with your left hand, with your right hand, pull it towards your left hand so that your paper corner is touching your left hand, and then pull down or pull down towards the bottom of the page. So pull down to the bottom of the page, just like that. And then you want to keep these pages in order. So you see how it goes page 1, then page 2. So as you're cutting, you're just putting them in order. And then when this stack, you're just putting them underneath. So that way it stays in order the whole time. All right, I'm going to kind of pick up the pace because we'll be here all day. I'm going to get 3 sheets of paper now. Okay. Again, ruler down the middle, pressure with your left hand. With your right hand, you're pulling so it touches your left hand, and you're pulling down towards, so it's actually not straight down, but this way, right? So when you're pulling down, you're pulling gently down that way. So 3 sheets of paper, you're pulling towards your left hand and down. And again, once you cut it, you're just putting it in order. So left, right, left, right, left, right. Or you can just look at the page number. So this is 3, then 4, 5, then 6, 7. And I just do this as I go so that the pages can remain in the right order. Then I put it on the bottom of the stack. And I'm going to keep going until I cut all of these pages. So if you've understood how to cut this, you can forward to the next bit so that you can move on. For everybody else, I'm not going to take more sheets of paper. I think I've taken like 5 or 6, which makes it a little tougher. So I'm going to release it a little bit. There, that should be good. Again, pressing your left with your right hand. You're pulling towards your left hand and then pulling it down and left, pulling it this way. And again, once you cut anything, you just put it in order. So 9, 10, 11, 12. And 12 doesn't have a page. It's the only one that doesn't have a page. I couldn't fit it in there. So it's okay. It's just left, right, left, right, left, right. Okay, next one. 13, 14, 15, 16. So just make sure you're looking at the page numbers. 17, 18. You're just putting them in order. Again, it's going to go to the bottom of the stack. Okay, I got the last few here. So again, one more time, down the middle, pressure on your left hand. Really press down on the ruler so the ruler doesn't move. With your right hand, pull it towards your left hand and pull it down gently and slowly. Once you've done that, line up the pages. So mine's going to go 19, 20, 21, 22. So it's just left, right, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. All right, so now that's in order. We're going to put it in the bottom of the stack. So all of these pages are now in order from 1 through 28, it seems like. Yep, 1 through 28. Now let's go ahead and talk about our notebook. All right, so our notebook is going to consist of a table of contents. All right, so we're going to, and what you're going to do is you're going to take your first page that you cut out, which will have the table of contents for Unit 1. So this says Unit 1 linear functions, and this is the table of contents, like what page everything is on. So you're going to take that paper and stick it on here. Since it's a little bit big for me, I'm just going to be a little bit of a perfectionist and just cut it one more time. So I pressure on my ruler with my left hand, with my right hand, pull towards the left and down, and it's just, it cut and fits pretty well. Now, to glue everything in, please, please, please pay close attention. If you're using liquid glue, this stuff is very, very strong. If you're using the glue stick, you're just gonna put all the glue stick all around. But if you're using liquid glue, I just want 4 small dots, okay, 4 small dots. And if the glue isn't coming out, just come get a Q-tip from me real quick. And you're just gonna stick the Q-tip in there and you can see that it's got glue on it. And you're gonna use the Q-tip. Please do not try and pour it out to put your dots. So this one may be not really dot wise, but you just kind of boom, boom, boom. Okay, 4 small dots. Now, as this is waiting, because now it's got glue on it, please make sure there's a scratch sheet of paper where you can place it so that it does not stick on our table. So once you got your 4 small dots in, you're gonna go ahead and glue your sheet now. All right, so once it's glued, and again, when you're gluing your dots, do not put them towards the edge because it's gonna seep out. If it does seep out while you're doing it, just kind of wipe it off. It's very important you wipe it off. If you don't wipe it off, your pages will stick together. All right, then what you're going to do is you're going to count 5 pages, 5 double pages. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4, 5. All right, count 5 pages. So you're going to count 5 pages and turn them over. All right, so you're going to make a cover page, or you can just use the one that I gave you in your paper to just stick it here, just so that you say Unit 1 linear functions. What's very important is don't stick it in this margin. If you look closely, you can see the margin from this side on this side too. For everything we're about to do now, you have to not stick it on either one of those sides. You can stick it over this one and over this one, but not over the 2 on the far left, on the far right. Okay, so when you stick your Unit 1 linear functions, again, do not stick it past the margin, and you'll see why in just a second. Now we're about to glue in, and you're gonna put 4 dots. Oh, it's kind of running. 4 dots, and do not put them anywhere near this margin. So where you wanna really put them is maybe after this main line, maybe 1, 2 in, but away from this margin, like there. So small dots, and on the same side, away a little bit away from the margin there. And then maybe 3 from the bottom in line with that top one. All right, like that. So now you have 3 small dots. You're gonna do both pages at the same time. So again, the same thing, stay away from these margins. And then on the 3rd line, 1, 2, 3, 3rd line, and then third one from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, you're gonna repeat the process. So you're gonna put 8 dots at once to streamline this process. So then you're gonna take your very first page, and when you put your page down, again, be careful, do not put it here. It can be over this side, but do not put it on this side. Line it up, put a little pressure, your second page. Again, stay away from this margin right here. It's okay to go over this one, but stay away from this one. So there should not be any paper on this side right here. Okay, do not have any paper there. So if it is there, straighten it up. Now, if you've done this correctly, you're not going to have any glue bleeding out. If you do see any glue bleeding out, just use your finger to kind of wipe it off. And we're going to repeat this process until all the papers are done. Again, making sure that the pages are in order. Page 1, page 2. So obviously, next will be page 3, page 4. So again, take the glue, 4 small dots, 3rd line, 3rd from the bottom, 3rd from the bottom, inside of the margins. 3rd from the bottom, 3rd from the bottom, 3rd from the bottom, 3rd from the bottom. Okay, take my 2 pages in order. Page 3 on the left, page 4. Making sure, once again, you are not sticking any of the papers on this sides where my hands are going up and down. No paper should be going over that. If it is, fix it now. All right, apply some pressure. Again, if you didn't go far in enough, it might be seeping out. Just kind of wipe it off before you turn the page, because if you turn the page first, then your pages will glue together. And you're just going to keep repeating this process. So once you kind of understand how to glue it in, you can go ahead and forward to the next part. So again, within the margin, 3rd line down. Within the margin, 3rd line down. 3rd from the bottom, 3rd from the bottom. Same kind of place within the margin, 3 and 3. Again, taking my pages in order. All right, so this is page 5. Stay away from that side. It's okay to be on this side. Stay away from that side. Page 5 and 6. Apply a little pressure. And so this is perfect because I have some glue seeping over. So because you see I have some glue seeping over, if I just turn the page, this page is going to get stuck to that page. So again, what you do is you just take your hand, wipe it off, and then on your hand, just do this. It'll go away. Okay, so again, just wipe it off. Make sure it's completely wiped off before you move on. And just repeat the process until the very end. All right, so now we've glued everything in, just make sure that there's no page that is sticking to each other. If there is, go ahead and go to that one and wipe it off so that it doesn't stick your pages. You're going to come back to the cover page of the unit where it says Unit 1, Linear Functions. On the right-hand side on the margin here, you're going to count off this big space plus 1, and just with your pencil, put a horizontal line there, and I'll tell you why in just a second. Then after that, count every 4 lines and put a line. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Put a line. 1, 2, 3, 4, put a line. Okay, so just do this in pencil. 1, 2, 3, 4, put a line. 1, 2, 3, 4, put a line. 1, 2, 3, 4, put a line. And it's okay if at the end you only have 3 or you have 4, or you have 2, that's okay. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces. So if you don't have 7 spaces, come and see me. So it's the big one with 1, and then 4 after that. Once you have 7 spaces, you're ready to move on. All right, so we're going to start off with the first tab. I'm going to zoom in so we can see. So you're going to go to the next page. So take this page over, and what you're going to do is you're going to slightly, let me zoom out so you can see. You can slightly kind of fold your page without folding your page like this. So you're going to fold it over just a little bit, so that you can see your lines line up. So you're going to have this first line is going to be the bottom of your first step. So take your pencil, because obviously yours is not colored like I just colored mine, but you're going to just take your pencil and mark it right here. All right, once you mark it, you're going to go ahead and copy this down. So mark, and you've copied writing and graphing equations. You're going to color later, because right now we're just going to make sure we got our tabs right. So writing and graphing equations. Okay, now when you complete that, you're going to put this paper back, and you're going to go to page 6. See where it says page 6 on the top right here. And that top is going to have linear equations on page 5, and on page 6 is going to say linear functions. So on that page, you're going to hold all of it together. So now you're on page 6, and again, you're going to fold it over just a little bit, right, so that you can see where your tab goes. So this, you're going to take your pencil again, because you don't have time to color at this moment. You're going to take your pencil, mark the top right here in line with that, mark the top, and mark the bottom, and then write in function notation. Your tabs are going to match the titles, okay? That's going to be tab number 2. All right, so we're going to keep repeating this process. I want to make tab number 3. I'm going to again flip over some pages and go over to page number 11, and this is 12, and doesn't have a page number, but that's what it is. So page 11 and 12, where it says characteristics, okay, and I'm going to make this tab. So again, I'm on tab number 3. I'm going to gently push over or fold over, however you want to say that, like push over like that, so that it can line up and I can see. And I'm going to mark the top of tab number 3, the bottom of tab number 3. Okay, once I've marked it out, you can color it in later. You're going to write characteristics. If you're not sure how to spell characteristics, again, it's right here on the left-hand side. Okay, so your tab really matches the title of what you're doing on that page. All right, so that's tab number 3. Now we're going to go to tab number 4. So same thing. Tab number 4 is going to be written on page 18. All right, so on page 18, so page 17 and 18, what's the title right there? Arithmetic sequence. What do you think that the title for your tab is going to be? Arithmetic sequences. All right, so we're going to go to page 18, and we're on tab number 4. So you're going to gently, and it's getting a little bit harder. So because it's getting a little bit harder, what you probably need to do is put a little pressure in the middle, like to help it, like that. All right, then that kind of helps it fold over. So we're on tab number 4. Okay, and then you're going to mark the top of that tab, the bottom of that tab, just as normal. So let me zoom in so you can see it. We're on tab number 4, mark the top of the tab, the bottom of that tab. Once you've done that, again, color it in later, write arithmetic sequences. Not sure how to spell it, that's okay. It's gonna be on the left-hand side. Okay, so that's tab number 4. Now we're gonna go to tab number 5. Tab number 5 is gonna be on page 22. So go to page 22. Tab number 5. So again, gently fold over your book. And if it's having a hard time folding, put some pressure in the middle so that it folds over. And then you're gonna mark the top of the tab and the bottom of the tab. The top of the tab, the bottom of the tab. And once you mark that out, you're going to write applied questions. And once again, it has to match what it says on the left-hand side. So applied questions. Okay, so on page 22, applied questions. All right, then we're gonna go to tab number 6, I think we're on. All right, tab number 6 is on page 26. So on page 26 is tab number 6, and it's going to be called what? Data sheet. All right, so again, tab number 6, I'm gonna zoom out just a little bit. All right, again, take your book, put your fingers in the middle, kind of hold it down like that, fold it over. Okay, and then mark the top of the tab, the bottom of the tab, the top of the tab, the bottom of the tab. And then that tab is going to be called data sheet, just like the title. And then the last one, and again, like I said, some of you have 4 lines left, 3 lines left, 2 lines left, it doesn't matter. So for the last one, that's going to be on the very next double page, which is going to be on page 28. At the very bottom, and in fact, what you can do instead of taking the whole thing is just take the last page that you were just on and fold that over and just mark the bottom of that tab, and it is the rest of it. So some of us I have 3 lines, you might have 4 lines, you might have 2 lines, you might have 1 line. Doesn't matter, whatever you have on the bottom. And then that one is going to be called what? Something to do with test data, right? Something to do with test data. And since it's actually how we're going to be teaching Unit 6 this year, you're going to write that in. Unit 6 test data is the last tab. All right, so now what you're going to do is go through the tabs to make sure that they are lined up correctly. And so we're going to do that together. There should be 7 in total. So if I see a tab that says writing and graphing equations, I should see the same thing on the left side. So writing linear equations, so that's okay. Find your next tab that you wrote. This one says function notation. This says linear equations, linear functions. That's fine because actually it's the introduction to function notation. All of this is function notation. All right, so boom. Next one says characteristics, characteristics. So again, make sure it matches before you go on to the next step. Next tab says arithmetic sequences, arithmetic sequences. Keep going. Next one says applied questions, applied questions. All right, keep going. Next one says data sheet. That says data sheet. Keep going. Last one says Unit 6 test data. So that one says just test data there. So just like that, we have completed our notebook and our tabs. We only have one last thing, which is cutting it out. Please, please, please listen to instructions to cut it out. So go to the very front, again, to the cover page. You're going to take a ruler. Yes, you can do it with scissors, but I'm telling you, if you just get used to the ruler, it's so much faster. You're going to line up your ruler with the margin that you can see on the other side, on the cover page. Take that one page only. Line up the ruler with that line. Put pressure on your left hand with your right hand, lean towards your left hand and pull down, left and down. Pull left and down gently. It's going to cut all that out to show you your first tab. And by the time we finish, you'll see all the tabs. So I've got my first tab left. Now I'm going to take all the pages up to the next tab that I have. So this is the next tab I have, so it's 2 pages. So I'm going to take 2 pages, okay? This is all going to be this tab, so 2 pages. I'm going to take my ruler again. I'm going to do it this way just for ease. Line it up to that line. Take my hand, pressure on my left with my right, lean it down, cut to the margin and down. Cut to the margin and down. Pressure on my left hand with my right hand, lean towards my left and pull down. Okay, that's going to show you the very next tab. And this is the process we're going to keep repeating. So I'm going to flip over to this next tab. I'm going to take however many pages that take me to the next one. So this one is going to be 3 pages, takes me to the next tab. So I'm gonna hold those 3 pages. The only place I'm cutting, so again, pay attention, is the bottom of the tab, okay? I'm not cutting off the top, just the bottom of the tab. All right, so I'm gonna turn my book over just so it's a little bit easier. All right, I've got 3 pages in my hand because it's gonna be the next tab. Line up my ruler, pressure on my left hand with my right, I pull down, cut to the margin, and then cut all the way down. So again, pressure on my left hand with my right, pull to the left hand, and down gently, down gently. So I should have, I'm cutting 3 sheets of paper at one time. All right, now I got my next tab, so flip over to that one. All right, then we're gonna go to the next one after that is going to be 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you're just holding it to the next tab. So 3 pages to the next tab. All right, and I can see that mine is off a little bit. So what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to fix this as I go. I'm going to actually just do it this way so that it can be, I think I miscounted. And that's okay to make mistakes. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just come see me and I'll help you fix it. All right, because I know as soon as I cut that, it's going to be right here. So boom. All right, so I'm holding the 3 pages. Again with the ruler, pressure on my left with my right, pull down gently. Then again down the margin, again, pressure on my left with my right, pull down gently. All right, so now it's showing you the next one, so flip to that next one. Then we're gonna hold the pages, as many as it is, to the next tab, which is just 2. So 2 pages gives me the next tab, and I can see that it lines up, so this one's okay. All right, so we're gonna cut to the margin, pressure on my left hand, and then slowly pull down. All right, that's my next tab. We're gonna go over to the next one, and we're almost done. All right, so we're gonna take 1, 2, and then I see my next one, so 2. All right, so I'm gonna hold this 2 pages, pressure on my left hand with my right, I'm gonna pull down to the margin, and then I'm going to cut all the way down. Pressure on my left hand with my right, I'm just pulling down. Of course, you can do this with scissors, but it does take a little bit longer. All right, then finally, second to last one, and it's only 1 page over. Okay, so 1 page the next tab, so that's all I need to hold. Just the bottom of the tab to the margin and down. And now I've completely cut out all my tabs. So when I have my first unit, I can see that these are all my big ideas, the big ideas that I'm going to do in unit 1. So writing graphing equations, function notation, characteristics, arithmetic sequences, applied questions, data sheet, and then unit 6, test data, and you will see that that matches your table of contents. Writing linear equations, graphing linear equations, using Desmos to write and graph, function notation, characteristics, arithmetic sequence, applied question, data sheet, and unit 6 taught within. And that's how we fixed our notebook. So now we are ready to learn. Let's practice.